I'm going to take a couple minutes to show you how to use Replit and also how to write your first Java program. So when you log into Replit each day, in order to access an assignment, you would just click on the course you're in. So I'm going to use this Programming 2 course. I would click on it. And then when the assignments are ready to be done, you'll see a new assignment appear, and you would just click on the assignment that you're going to do. And then Replit will automatically take you into somewhere where you can write the code for that assignment, and then the instructions will be on the right. We're going to go back to the board though, back to the, out of the classroom, back to our dashboard. And let's say I just want to write code in Replit without actually being in a class or going to a specific assignment. At the top, there's something called My Repels Appear, R-E-P-L-S. So I would go ahead and click on that. And once you get in there, if you've written stuff already, it will show up. You can organize things by folders, so you can add a new folder, and you might want to do that for your class. And when I want to write a new program, I just go up here to this button on the left, New Repel, click on it. It asks you what language you want. We're going to be writing in Java. And then this is the name, and it always gives it a very funny name. So I'm just going to call mine My First Program. And I'm going to go ahead and create it. Okay, so when I create it, it actually automatically gives me the nuts and bolts of a first class. But if I didn't have those, it would always just give me the class main. So I'm just, for a quick second, I'm going to go ahead and just delete this. So on your assignments, you're probably only going to see the class main, and then you're responsible for writing everything inside. Notice that the class starts with an open bracket and the class ends with a closed bracket. So all of our coding is going to go in between those two brackets. That's indicating when the class starts and when it ends. In order to create a class that you can actually run, you would be then typing in, and I'm just going to paste it back in here, this line here, public static void main, and then you see parentheses, the word string with brackets, args, and parentheses. And then the other thing you're going to see is a open bracket and a closed bracket. This line of code is needed for any program that we plan to actually run. And it's very important that things that are capitalized here, that you capitalize. So for example, the word string would have to be capitalized. The word main is not capitalized, so you can't interchange things that are capital and not, or it won't work correctly. The other thing you're going to note is that this also has an open curly bracket and an end curly bracket. So all of the code that we're going to do is going to go inside of there. And then what you're going to learn about in your very first lesson is doing output. And you're going to read more about this in your lesson, but system.out.println is one of the ways that we can do output, and then whatever we want it to say would go inside. All of these single lines of code always have to end with a semicolon in order for the compiler to work. So I have my first Java class. It's always going to have a class header. In Replit, it's always going to be called main. I'm going to have my public static void main statement that's needed for the program to actually be able to run. And then all of the code that goes inside. So we could have more code in here as well. But we're not going to at this time. So when I'm ready to test it out, I can click the run button. And if everything is working correctly, sometimes it takes it a minute, but you're going to see that it output hello world. If I have an error, for example, let's say I forgot my semicolon, you can see that it's already given me a little red squiggly line, but let's say that I don't see it or that line doesn't show up. When I run it, it tells me main.java3 error semicolon expected. So that means it's on line 3. So down over here on the left, you see that all the lines of code are numbered. So on line 3, you got some problem, and in this case, it tells you right away that it's missing it's a semicolons expected. So that's easy for me to fix. So there's just a quick intro on writing your first Java program, and I challenge you to go ahead and try that yourself.